Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 10:50, it just turned 10:59 p.m. on this beautiful Thursday evening in Indianapolis. I was just pulling into this, I just pulled into this parking lot to respond to some text messages. Tanya is texting me as we speak. If I respond to her, she'll text me back. So she's asking me if I'm caught up on Big Brother, which no, I'm not caught up on Big Brother. I did that whole discussion last night. Somebody said, why don't you like Tyler? And asked me in the comment sections, was like, why don't you like Tyler? He's such a nice guy. I don't like Tyler because I think he played an unfair game, number one. Number two, I did not like the way that he played Davon and Bailey by saying that he was gonna like walk out, and then he didn't end up walking out, and he got their hopes up, and it just was, I didn't care for the way that he played Davon and Bailey. That was like really literally it. And yeah, I mean, I don't dislike him as a person. I don't know him. It's a reality show. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not my favorite like contestant on the reality show. Anyway, how are you guys doing this evening? I've had a good day today. I've gotten a lot done. I actually woke up today and I've had like, I will say this, I've had like a massive like migraine all through the day. And I still have it. It's not as bad now as it was earlier, but if you guys don't know, I have migraine disorder associated with my seizures, with my epilepsy. So some days are just like horrific. And I woke up today and I just had this horrific migraine that I just could not shake. I mean, every day I have like my head hurts to some degree. But today it was so much worse than it usually is. And I'm kind of going backwards to what I usually do because I was listening to my audiobook. I'm really into this book, which I'll talk about in a second, but I woke up and I just was like, my head was, I slept in super late because when I got up, my head was hurting so bad. I was just like, I just can't even, I felt like I couldn't even function. And then, yeah, it just was horrible. I mean, it just was really, really bad. And so, I kind of just like sat around the house for a little while, and then I was like, okay, you've got to go get something. You've got to go do something. Like, it's just, you're just sitting here not doing anything, and it's not helping your head, and it's not helping you, and you're just not doing anything. So after I took the dogs out and stuff, I went and got coffee at Starbucks, and I did a review. Getting out of the house kind of helped a little bit. It distracted me. I don't really know how to explain it if you don't have like migraine disorder, if you don't have get migraines. I mean, it is a diagnosis. Nothing helps with me. When I first got diagnosed, I tried Imitrex, and you were supposed to like take one when like the migraine hits, and then like another one an hour later. It's extremely expensive, even with insurance, and I can't remember how much it was, but I got like 9 pills at a time, and it just didn't help. It just did not help at all. And then I tried, because my migraines were so horrible when I first got diagnosed. The other thing is that when I got diagnosed with epilepsy, my doctor wasn't sure that my like high intake of caffeine, because at that time I was like, in the morning I would have like a huge cup of coffee on my way to work, and then I would drink another cup of coffee when I got to work, and then I would drink coffee all throughout the day. I was also on Flonase and Claritin for my allergies, and which had stimulant in them. Well, I think the Flonase did. The Claritin, some kind of, anyway. And then I would like get off work, and I would go and I would get like a huge, you know, like 32 ounce or larger like fountain pop, and I would have like 2 caffeinated fountain pops in the evening. And so he like literally ripped me off of everything. He took me off the Claritin, he took me off the Flonase, and like made me go completely like caffeine free for a while. And so I think like that intensified my, like, I mean, that made me like, I think, like have a headache on top of having a migraine. There's a total difference between migraines and headaches, but you kind of feel like some days I'll feel like I have both. Some days, you know, like I just have a migraine, but like every day I have a little bit of like a throbbing. It's, anyway. So he also had me try Migraine, which I hated, and it didn't do anything. I took it like twice, and it did literally nothing. And at that point, I started taking just different kinds of stuff. But because I'm on Depakote for my epilepsy, I can't take, I think it's aspirin that interacts with it, so there's a lot of things I can't take. Because people are always like, well, why don't you take like, Excedrin. I think there's like actually a Excedrin migraine or Excedrin something. I don't know, but I can't take that because it has aspirin in it. So yeah, so just some days are worse than others. It's interesting because like for a long time, like sunlight and brightness never hurt my head when I had migraines. But now I would say in the last year, like I notice when it's like really sunny or bright outside, like I wear sunglasses almost all the time anyway when I'm driving or I'm out. But now I notice it bothers me even more. So like on days that it's like snowed and then it's like sunny outside afterwards, you know, and it's like glaring off the snow, like those are the worst. I have like a friend of mine, like she literally like has to wear like those blue blocker sunglasses because it's so bad on her head on days like that, on really sunny days. But anyway, so I woke up and I just was kind of like, okay, push through it, I try to just kind of push through it because then eventually it kind of like, it's gonna sound strange, but it's not like I forget it, but it's like, when I'm doing other stuff, it like kind of minimizes it, I guess, in my head. If I'm just sitting there and I'm not doing anything, like I'm watching TV, like tonight, like Alex and I were doing some stuff on like the computer, we were like, anyway, and I just kept on saying like, my head is hurting so bad. Like I just kind of kept on sitting there and I was like, oh my God, my head is hurting so bad. And, because I wasn't really doing anything other than just like looking at the computer. I think the computer like it hurts sometimes like on top of it. I think today I had maybe like a headache and a migraine, if you have migraines, you'll know what I mean. It's like they're different. Like a migraine is more like pressure in your head and a headache is like where it hurts, you know? So it's like different. I don't even know how to explain it, but like the word annoying kind of comes to play. Like a headache is really annoying, whereas a migraine is just like almost kind of like you can't even move. But like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say today's was like a 6, 7. I mean, I've had 10s where I literally cannot get out of bed, but not very often do I have them like that. So anyway, I went and I got my Starbucks coffee, and then I did a review at Starbucks of the vanilla sweet cream cold brew, which was really actually pretty good. I liked it. And then I was talking about how like sometimes I like cream in my coffee and sometimes I don't, but typically I don't ever order cream in my coffee. But then when we were like quarantined, I had like cream that I would like put in my coffee every day, you know? I think I vlogged sometimes with like having that like in the car where I made my own iced coffee at home. And then what did I do after that? Oh, I drove around I did a booktube video because I was driving around and I was listening to my audiobook, which is fantastic. It's The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And I thought I had it, I was looking at it, I thought I had it on, but I had the radio turned to Margaritaville. 24 Margaritaville, Jason Mraz, I'm yours. Is it Mraz? Mraz. I'm not a huge fan of his. Anyway, I don't even know if I know this song. Yeah, I do. He's kind of in that, like, Jack Johnson kind of group that, like, I like some of his stuff sometimes if I'm in the right mood, but I have to be, like, I think he has, like, one song I really like. And I like the live version of it. It's called, like, I don't know what it's called, but he's like, let's send this sound out to the world around us. It's like at the beginning of it. I don't know what that song is. But anyway, So I drove around and I was listening to my audiobook because I'm like so into this book. And then I came home and I filmed a drama video. I didn't even leave the house till late. So I got back late, fed the dogs, filmed my drama video. Well, I filmed my drama video and my Peter Williams video, and then like I fed the dogs and took them out and stuff. It was a beautiful day in Indianapolis today. It was really nice outside. And then what else? And then Alex came home. I was still getting my videos up. I was watching Halloween H2O at the boarding school. Jamie Lee Curtis is at the boarding school. I'm trying to watch all of them this season. And you know what I should start doing is I should watch, like tomorrow I should watch the first one, and then the next day the second, and then you know what I mean? Go in a row and watch them. And then Alex came home and we were talking a bunch of stuff. And then he was like, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna watch a television show. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, I think I'm gonna go vlog now. I have tomorrow my recovery commitment thing from 12 to 2. And then I have a hair appointment at 3:15, which I'll probably be there till 4. And then I don't know that I'm gonna wanna come home like that late and film a bunch of videos after doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to get up early tomorrow and film videos. So I don't wanna stay up too late tonight. I say that, and I probably will end up staying up late. I wanna actually watch some TV show when I get home. I wanna watch Monsterland on Hulu, which I looked, and all 8 episodes are already up. And then I also wanna watch Lovecraft Country. And there's 8 episodes so far. I looked on HBO Max. And then I think Alex and I should probably try to catch up on Handmaid's Tale. But when, who knows? And then I also, okay, that was the second show. And what was the third show that I wanted to watch? Oh, Ratchet. Those are the 3 shows I want to watch right now. So I think I'm going to start, and I'm going to watch an episode of Monsterland on Hulu. And I'm going to watch an episode of Lovecraft Country. And then I'm going, it was based on a book. It said, I was reading the synopsis about it, and start getting into those shows. And then whichever one I like, I'll probably just go forward with that one. Whichever, like, the first episode really, like, I get into. I might watch that Monsterland one episode and be like, this show is not for me. I don't really, it's about all kinds of different creatures and supernatural and all that kind of stuff. So it looks good. So I'm hoping that it's good. So yeah, and then Ratchet, Alex said, is really good. I think he finished it already. If he hasn't finished it already, he's almost done. He's close to being done with it. And then, yeah, that's it. So, Alex's mom is going to San Diego to visit his brother and just to stay out there for a while. It's 11/11, make a wish. I just made a wish, did you? So Alex has to take her to the airport in the morning at 6 o'clock. She's gonna be at our house. Don't wake me up before you go. Wake me up before you go. And then I have to use the restroom, and I'm like really close to our house, and I'm like, should I just like stop vlogging for a second and go home and use the restroom? I'm like, I'll just wait. I can wait. So anyway, I'll go in the other direction, then I'll come this way, and then if I have to go to the bathroom, I'll stop again because I want to listen to like another hour of my audiobook. So he's taking her to the airport, and then when he gets off work tomorrow, I have to. So he's gonna like drive her car, I guess, and then I have to meet him at Carlos's because he's gonna drop the car off there. So anyway, that's tomorrow, and I don't know what else. That's Friday. And then, I don't think we have any plans tomorrow night. Alex has got some business meetings on Saturday, some things he has to do. And then, on Saturday, Melissa and Jason, Aaron and Eric and Alex were gonna go to haunted houses again. Oh my Lord, these people are passing me on a double. What is going on? I'm not even going that slow. Are you kidding me? I'm literally going like 2 miles over the speed limit, and these people just passed me going like 20 miles more than me. 20 miles more an hour. I guess they have some place to go. Dangerous. By the way, somebody said, did you cut out part of the video? I didn't notice, or something like that. Yes, I cut the part out. It was hard because it didn't really make sense when I was trying to cut the part out, but I cut the part out like right when I passed the semi. I just didn't think that that needed to be in the video. I didn't think it was, I mean, you could see it, and it wasn't necessary for me to put that in the video. So yes, I did cut that part out. Oh, Ziggy and Stephen Marley, I love them. I saw Ziggy Marley in concert. Tomorrow, people, where is your past? Do you remember that song? I love that song. And then Saturday, he has some stuff to do. They were gonna go to haunted houses on Saturday night. We were gonna do like the bonfire again. Like there's a little farmer's market that I went to. And we were gonna do little like bonfire afterwards and stuff like that, because y'all know I don't do haunted houses. And I guess the haunted houses that they looked at were like $58 or something. Like some haunted house they looked at was like $58, and none of them want to pay that. I don't blame them. Who would want to pay that? $58 for a haunted house? That's gotta be some haunted house. So Melissa texted me and said, I know Alex has stuff that he's doing on Saturday, but we're going to go to a pumpkin patch. Do you want to go to a pumpkin patch with us? I think it's just Melissa and Jason, or Melissa and Aaron, who knows? I don't know. But it's just like 2 of them that are going. But I don't know. I haven't decided yet. They'll probably go early. I don't want to get up super early. And then Sunday we'll do brunch. I feel like we have something else that we're doing, but I can't think of it. Maybe that's it. So I'm reading this book called The Midnight Library that was recommended to me by quite a few people, 2 or 3 people in my comment sections. I think the vlog, like one person recommended it, and then also on my BookTube video. So the short of it is, because I did this long discussion about it on my BookTube channel today, the short of it is about this woman that takes her life, and she goes to this place called the Midnight Library. And the Midnight Library is this place between the living and the dead. And it's an actual library that contains all of these books that are infinite amounts of possibilities to where your life could have led. Each book is a different possibility of an outcome of where your life could have gone based on the decisions that you made, you know? Like if you decide to turn left instead of right. But it's more like profound decisions than that. Like being in a certain relationship or pursuing a certain job or something like that. Why is my nose driving me crazy all of a sudden? Anyway. Allergies are really bad in Indianapolis this year. In the Midwest in general, probably, but I have a feeling we're headed towards like, we had a couple really nice days, and I should look and see. I bet it's going to be really cold next week. I have a feeling we're headed towards like frost season here. We're almost towards the end of October. I'll look and see. Do 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 do. I have often walked down these streets before. My mom used to love that song from My Fair Lady. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, highs in the 50s and the 60s. Yep. Friday the 16th, it starts getting kind of chilly. This is where Melissa back there, right back there, she was selling the mums. Oh my God, you guys, my mums are like, probably like 70% open now. The ones that I got from Melissa, the purple ones, they're so pretty. I'm like, I cannot wait until they're fully open. Oh, I can't get out this way? Yes, I can. Everything's so quiet. This is like a little donut place or something over here. I thought it was. I guess it's not. What is it? This is Hungry Free Delivery. What's it called? Cluster Truck or something. Anyway, so I'm reading this book, and the book is, yeah, I told you about it. So anyway, it's about like her, she doesn't want to live. And first of all, the book is so incredibly well written. Like, it's just like each page is like poetry prose. It's just so beautiful to listen to. Who was texting me? I cannot see. It's like nobody ever texts me. I mean, seriously, you guys, like my phone, I'm just gonna have to turn in here into the park, which is kind of scary, I guess, but whatever. I'll just turn right around. Nobody ever texts me. Here's the Bark Park to the right here, which I've never been to. Have I? Maybe I've been once. I feel like I've been there once with somebody. My thing tomorrow, my recovery thing. Anyway, the book is so beautifully written, and but it's like really getting me to think about like so many things. Like, oh, I knew I should just send it. She texts right back like this. I should have just stopped and waited. But it's really making me think about like just my life in general, you know, and there's one part where she talks about success, and I was listening to it tonight before I was vlogging, and the book just took like a major turn, and I'm like, oh my God, this is getting so good. It's really good. I told Alex, I said I want to drive around a little bit tonight and listen to my audiobook because it's so good. People are like pulling in here. What is going on? Watch, I said, okay, see you then. And she'll text me back again. I have this friend of mine, I love her, it's not this one, but I love her to death. But seriously, she'll text you and she'll be like, are we still doing lunch tomorrow? And I'll be like, yeah. And she'll say, good, can't wait to see you. And then I'll be like, see you then. And then she'll say, like, she'll text back like a smiley face. And then like, I feel like I should text back a smiley face, so I text back a smiley face. And then she like loves or likes all of like the texts. And then she's like, so excited. And then like 5 minutes later, so excited. And I'm like an hour later, I'm like, okay, can we just stop this texting, please? I'll see you tomorrow. It's just like, do you have anybody like that? It's like, I don't need to text anymore. She was a good girl. She stopped after that. That, and I will tell you that like, my friends know. People are like, oh, you would never say this to people. You think I wouldn't? I say this to my friends. I'm like, there's no need to text after that. Like, final, we've agreed. Like, we can just move on past that, right? The other thing is, I tell my friends this, do not ever include me. I hate being in group text. The only group text that I agree to be on, or be in, is, all the college kids are out tonight. The bar's in Broderpool. They're dead though inside. Well, they close in 40 minutes. But the only ones that I agree to be in is with Alex, Melissa, and Jason. Like, that's it. Like, I'm like, I don't need to be in a bunch of group texts, because it's like, when one goes off, then you've got 10 people and they're all commenting on it. I'm like, okay, then my phone is like, literally, it's like, like, people are like, so, all of my friends that I've ever had or am friends with on YouTube and whatever, they always have their notifications turned on for things like Twitter and Instagram or whatever, right? Like, and then like a lot of drama channels have like notifications for like other people turned on. So like, you know, if, I don't know, Joe Smith comes out, I don't know who Joe Smith is, but let's just say if Joe Smith comes out and tweets something, right? Like they get the notification about it. I have no notifications turned on for anything. For anything, period, right? Like, I just don't. I don't care that much, and I don't need my phone going off all the time like that. Like, it drives me nuts. And it's always like, so sometimes I'll upload videos from my phone, like I'll airdrop it and upload it from my phone, and when I'm uploading it, it's like, that's when like this group text thing will start going off like this, and I'm like, oh my god. And then because it stops it like each time, and I'm like, oh my god. And then Alex is always like, well, just, you could silence your phone or what. I'm like, it's just too much work. I don't need to be in the group text. I don't like to be in the group text. I don't want to be in the group text. Just keep me out of the group text. Like, I'm in some like, I am in them because I try to be nice, but I'm like in some like recovery group text. And like our literature meeting that we do on Monday nights, I mean, that one I am in too, because that's how we connect through like the Zoom call and stuff. And I'm like real nice about it, but like after we get off, like we've gotten off the Zoom call, we've said, you know, everything, and real nice, which, oh, that was so great, we had so much fun tonight, we're all talking, okay, see you next week, see you next week, see you next week. Undoubtedly, somebody will text the group and say, is it unfocused? Somebody will text the group and say, that was such a good group tonight, right? And then somebody will say, oh, I thought so too. And then this just literally goes on for like the hour afterwards, and it's like my phone is like, bzz, 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 and I can't be out of this group text because I have to, because it's part of our literature group. And I told Tanya, I was like, okay, enough, the meeting is over, we don't, like, the group is over, we don't need to be having all this, like, the census lady chit chat. I don't have time for chit chat in my life. I mean, I do when I'm standing outside talking to my neighbors, you know, and it's, I guess, on my time, but like all this like unnecessary, like, oh, I agree, me too, oh, I love you, oh, smiley face, kiss, kiss. It's just so much. I don't know. This is where the apple orchard is that I used to go to with my mom. I haven't been there in forever. It's at Park Tudor School. I think it's back in there somewhere. You guys are probably like, Peter sounds so bitter about this group text. It's annoying. I don't even, and you know the thing is, like, I don't even know how to, like, if I had to start a group text, I wouldn't even know how to do it. Like, I don't know how to add people or do any of that stuff. I can hardly do it. People think I'm lying when I say I'm not technological. Like, I am not technological at all. Like, I just am not. And don't care either. Like, really, I truly, truly, truly do not care that I'm not technological. I mean, sometimes I care because, like, it's like if there's, what is it that, like, okay, I watch YouTube videos to teach me how to do stuff sometimes, and I get confused watching the YouTube video to the point where I'm just, like, real frustrated with it, right? And, like, I cannot follow, like, I'll follow directions and I'll read them right to the line, and I feel like they've, like, skipped 3 steps that I'm supposed to know, and I'm like, were there secret steps in there that I didn't know? Because I don't understand this. I was so proud of myself a couple years ago. Well, I guess this was last summer. I put together this IKEA patio table. You guys, it was so simple, and it literally had, like, this directions that unfolded. It was basically a metal top and 4 legs, and, like, I sat there on the floor. You guys, it literally took me like a half an hour. I sat there on the floor. I don't know how long it took me, maybe 15 minutes. I sat there and I, like, got so confused at first as, like, what side the table was supposed to go on. I'm like, you're such an idiot. And then when I got it done on these simple IKEA instructions, I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh my God, you have really achieved something here by putting this table together. And every time I see that table, because of course it's on my front step, so I see it all the time, I'm like, oh my God, you put that table together. I'm so proud of myself. I remember the camera stopped. I started telling the story and then I was like, should I not? It's like, whatever. Anyway, so when my ex and I broke up, my ex was very technological. Like, he could do anything. And I remember one year for Christmas, he came over and he like bought a new battery for my mom and put it in her car and stuff. And she was like so impressed, and he could do anything. I mean, he really could do anything, but it was very artistic too. And so he would, like, whenever we would buy stuff like at Target or whatever, he would put it together. And like, you know, it could be like this huge like armoire and he'd have it together in 20 minutes, no lie, right? I mean, he had the drill. I don't even know how to use a drill. He had the drill, the electric screwdriver, and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, he could do anything and put it together. Well, we had these like, I now keep my like hats and my pajamas in. I have them in my closet. They're like, I have the exact same ones, but not the same ones, because he took the ones. We had these like things in our bedroom, and they were these like, I don't know how to explain them, these like metal like crisscross. They were very modern looking and very cool, and it was like 2 things high and like, or 3 things high and like 3 things over, so it was like 9 little boxes, and we would like put t-shirts and stuff in there, right, in our bedroom. So when he moved out, I came home because he had asked me to be gone that day. So I came home to this apartment that just literally looked like a tornado had torn through it. And he left things clean, but it was just like, it was weird because like, there were like some pictures taken off the wall, and like, it just was weird. It just was like, you know, I left there that day and it was like a completely full apartment. And then I come home and it's like, everything's like gone, and like his side of the bed was like, everything was like empty off the table, and he took the dresser. It just was weird. It just was weird. So anyway, but he took these metal things. So I went, and we had just gotten them like 6 months before, and I loved them because they held like all my t-shirts, like the stuff that I would wear, like of that, you know, it was right out there, so I just pull a t-shirt out and whatever. So I went to Target and I bought like the same crates. I think they were from Target. And I bought the same crates, bookshelf kind of looking deals. And I remember I was in the living room and I was like, I'm gonna watch a movie and like try to put these together. I was so confused. And I think I called him. It was like, it was not right after we broke up, but it was like, I don't know when it was, but it wasn't like that minute. It was like a month later or something. But I called him and asked him about it. And I was like, you know, do you know like how hard was it for you to put these together and whatever? And he made some kind of like snarky comment to me, right? Like about like, I mean, both of us could be smart asses. So, this person's gonna be mad and go around me and watch because there's a median in between us, but there's literally like police cars and fire engines coming, so I was taught to stop. People just keep on driving, nobody pulls over. So anyway, he made some snarky comment to me about like, well, I did all that stuff before, now you're gonna have to do it, or something like that. You think you can, I don't know. He made some comment. And I was like basically insinuating that I didn't know how to do any of those things, which I didn't. It was like a fair statement. So I got off there and I like got on, I like put in some movie and I was like, I'm gonna put these together. And it literally took me like 2 hours. I was so proud of myself when they were done. I mean, they should have been put together and like, they literally were just like two metal things like this with this thing that sat on top. I was so proud of myself when I got done with it. And I like took a picture of it and like texted him to it, like, you SOB. Anyway. But I'm not good at that stuff. Why did I talk about that? Was I talking about that? Oh, and then when Alex and I got together, I was like, really like, I'm gonna learn how to do all this kind of stuff. And so for me, that means just owning a toolbox. If I talked about my toolbox. So I went and I bought one day a toolbox with like the basic, we have all the basic tools in it. And so like, now Alex knows how to do some of that stuff, but not all of it. Like he knows how to use a drill and all that kind of stuff. I still to this day don't know how to use a drill. So that kind of scares me. It does. I'm afraid I'll drill my finger through or something. I tried to put on my rollerblades, and look, I got this thing on my finger that's still there. Do you see? That's from putting my rollerblades on. Hell, I can't even put my rollerblades on. You think that I can put together a bookshelf? There's no way. Anyway, so I got this toolbox, and then I bought like hammers and wrenches and all kinds of stuff. It's got my toolbox has everything in it that you'd possibly need to build a house. True story, it does. I'm so proud of it. Every time I see it in the basement, I'm always like, yep, there's my toolbox. I don't really think they teach us like in high school. I think they don't teach us the smartest stuff. I really don't. I think they teach us all this stuff that's totally pointless. Like, okay, I was forced to take geometry, and I've never once like had to use geometry. I couldn't use it if I did, because I don't know anything about geometry. But like they force us to take geometry, right? So that you can like figure out how to like build a patio. On who's doing that? Not me. But anyway, they don't teach you how to change your oil, you know, or how to like balance your checkbook and do finances unless you take those specific classes, right? But nobody's forcing you to take those classes. I think that everybody in high school should have to take a class. It's called like basic like training or something, you know, not like the military obviously, but like basic like life skills that you would need, you know, like how to sew a button on, how to iron a shirt, how to change your oil or a flat tire, you know, all those things. How to like, I don't know, like stop somebody from bleeding. I mean, sure, you have health class, but we didn't, I don't know if we had learned that in health class. You know, all those things that you would like really probably need to know at some point in your life, you know? I used to make this joke. People would say to me, do you even know how to change your oil? And I would say, yeah, you call Jiffy Lube. That's what I would say, because I totally don't have any idea how to change my oil. I know how to check my oil. I checked it yesterday, because it keeps on saying change oil required, or oil change required. But I don't know how to change my oil. I could add oil to my car if I had to. I do know how to do that. Like once I teach myself something, once, and I know how to do it after that. I will say that. Like I do it once and then I know how to do it. What are other like life skills I think that we should learn how to do? I'm trying to think. Like basic stuff, like open a checking account, or you know, like I don't know, like basic finances, like 10 or 101, like homeowners insurance, or you know, like credit scores and all that. I mean, we didn't talk about any of that stuff in high school. I didn't take any classes where I learned any of that kind of stuff. Basic financial stuff that I feel like I was just kind of like thrown to the wolves, and I had no idea about anything financial, you know? And then you just wake up one day and you're like expected to know all this stuff. I did not have, like, my dad, as like smart as he is, like he literally never sat me down. I mean, we talked about this later. He never sat me down. I've now switched from coffee to water. He never sat me down and said, like, this is how you do this and this is how you do that and that. I actually think my mom, God, that car. I think my mom is the one that, I think I opened like a savings account when I was like a little kid. Like like opened it with like $5 or something, you know, just to learn how to have a savings account. And from there I learned how to do a checking account. I don't remember how old I was when I first had a checking account. I have no idea. And I do know that like I did the Christmas club. You guys know what I'm talking about, where you put like $10 a week in, and then in October you can like take it out. I did do that like a year or two. And I think my parents had me do that stuff when I was younger, just to like learn like basic like banking kind of skills. But like my dad never sat me down and like, you know, like, and this is how to open a Roth IRA, and this is what an IRA is, and this is why you should have a retirement fund, and this is how you get health insurance, like, you know. And like I can remember I said something to my dad about it, and he goes, "Who do you think taught me those things?" And I was like, "I don't know, Grandpa." He was like, "No, Peter." He was like, I had to learn those things on my own. He was like, you know, he's like, if I had known, we could have sat down and gone through that, you know. He was like, but there was no, I had to kind of like just trial and error it. And I guess that's how a lot of people do it, you know. But I mean, I totally like, I mean, I had, you know, the health insurance thing, you know, when I was working, I had health insurance through when I was working. And then after that, like, you know, I had to figure out how to get health insurance on my own. And I mean, that was a learning experience. And, but, you know, now I know how to maneuver those kinds of things and do that and ask the right questions and whatever. And I think that's kind of a little bit of what life is really all about. You know, it's just like you have an obstacle, you learn it, and then you've learned that and you move on. Because like the things I learn, I don't like forget. I'm trying to think of something like recently that I've learned how to do that I didn't know how to do before. Something like around the house or something. Well, like I think cooking certain things is like kind of an example of that. What is something that I've done recently that like I didn't, that I'm kind of like proud of myself? Well, that table from IKEA. I know that's my proudest moment. Can you even? No, it's not. What's something that I've done that like I was really proud of? I mean, back in the day, it was just like changing the I want to call it the filter. I can't even think of what it's called. The thing on the furnace. Is it called a filter? Why can't I think of what it's called? But you know what I'm talking about. I can't even think of like something that I've learned recently that I'm like really super proud of myself about. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Don't you think they should teach us those things as life skill things? I do. Tanya was telling me, actually, I need to look into this. Tanya was, I think I've talked about this on here because Tanya told me about this like a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, about this guy on YouTube, and he's like a dad, and like he didn't teach his kids any of this stuff. And so like he felt bad about it. And so he's come back, and like each of his videos are about him. Did somebody mention this in my comment section too, or was it just Tanya? I think it was Tanya that told me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That like each of his videos is like him talking about like explaining how like one life thing to do. Like this is how you like, you know, change your oil, or this is how you know, I don't know, axe wood or chop wood or whatever, you know what I mean? And he shows how to do it in these videos, which I think is actually genius. It's a really cool concept for a YouTube channel. So many people have recommended to me these two guys that like listen to songs for the first time, and they've like never heard of these songs before, and then they listen to them. I don't get it, you guys. Like, I don't understand. Like, they just nod their head literally for 3 minutes and that's it. Like, I don't understand the draw to these. I've watched like several of their videos now, especially the ones that have gotten like the most views on them. And like, people are like dying. I have friends of mine, they're like, oh my God, did you see these two guys on YouTube? They are hilarious. I'm like, what is it? Like, I don't get it. Like, they look at each other, like, halfway through the song, they'll be like, yeah. Like, I'm like, first of all, I don't believe they haven't heard some of these songs. Some of these songs are so popular, I'm like, there's no way that you've never heard that song, like, just somewhere in a TV show or something, right? So anyway, Do you guys know who I'm talking about? They're constantly recommended to me. I mean, it's a great concept for a YouTube channel, but I just don't get it. Like, I don't think they're hilarious or anything like that. I've been watching a lot of candle reviewers lately, and BookTube. I've been watching a ton of BookTube lately. I should have stopped and gone to the restroom at home, because now I have to go to the restroom, and I'm not anywhere near the house now. Dream. Alex stopped at Kroger on the way home, and he texted me. He's like, I'm stopping at Kroger because I'm craving some candy. Do you want anything? And I was like, no, I'm good. And now I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had gotten something like hummus or something. I'm so hungry right now. And everything's closed in 15 minutes. Arby's is still open. How are these places all still open? How is Arby's still open but Taco Bell is closed? That's weird. Where I started, there was an Arby's, and I noticed it was open. Are places staying open now? Alex said something. Who was I talking to on the phone today? They said everything is open. Is it Alex was telling me that everything is open? Maybe places are staying open later. I don't know. It's like, I don't know that song. So I think I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook, and then I'm going to watch one episode of something tonight and then go to bed, which will put me into bed at about 2 or 2:30. And then if I get up at 10:30, that's 8 hours of sleep. That's a good amount of sleep. Don't you think? I think that's a good amount of sleep. My battery is like half charged at this point. I think I can make it. I'm probably not going to vlog for a whole lot longer anyway. I don't have tons and tons to talk about tonight. I was going to tell some stories about something, but now I don't remember what I was going to talk about. I really want to get a pedicure. I need to ask Tanya if she needs to go. I wish another new, like, great true crime kind of documentary would come on Netflix. I feel like for a while there were so many good ones, like The Keepers, Making of a Murderer, The Staircase. And maybe it was just like, they all kind of came out around the same time though, I feel like, didn't they? Like, not, I mean, at the same time, but they came, like, relatively around the same time, right? But, like, I wish they would... What was the one, the John Grisham book, The Innocent Man? That was pretty good. The Henry Lee, whatever his name was, that one was good, too. The Confession Killer, was that his name? I wish another one would come out. I wonder if there's going to be a season 3 of Making of a Murderer. I don't know anything that's happened with that Stephen Avery case, if anything has happened. I'm sure I could Google it and see. If you've watched those documentaries and you haven't watched the old ones, you should watch the Eileen Wuornos documentaries. I think they're on Amazon Prime. You might have to buy them, but they're, I think parts of them are also on YouTube, but not like the whole documentary, I think, or maybe they are on YouTube. I don't know, because when we did Eileen Wuornos and read about her, it was funny because Mel and I were like writing down like who we want to read about like the next couple months, and we had like so many women that we had like written down, and I was like, you know, because she's always like, in May we should read about a woman for Mother's Day, and I was like, we couldn't come up with anybody besides that Sylvia, like, I think her name is Likens, and she's from Indiana, I think, and she like tortured this girl and stuff, or maybe that Sylvia Likens is the girl that got tortured, I can't remember, but anyway, and Eileen Wuornos, and then I said, you know, it's so funny because we just came up with like 6 names of people that we could have read about, so, but we're going to read like more current things. But the Eileen Wuornos documentaries are really, really good. The West Memphis 3, those documentaries are real. There's 3 of them, and they're really good. Like, the first one's called Paradise Lost. They're really scary, too. Like, I can hear the music in my head of those documentaries. The whole thing is so creepy. I wonder where those guys are today. Yeah, but they haven't put any other documentary series out like that. I wish they would, like some kind of true crime thing. I mean, I like the Chris Watts one. I thought it was, it was fine. I mean, say I like it. It was interesting. It was well done, I thought, but it was nothing that I didn't know already. You know what I mean? Do you know what's interesting is that most of the people that I talked to, like I was talking to my cousin Caroline, and I said, did you watch the Chris Watts documentary? And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, but I already kind of knew everything about it. Like, there really wasn't anything in it that nobody already knew. You know, I don't know what the purpose was of putting that out. I mean, everybody, I think, was kind of like excited to see it, to see if there was going to be stuff in there that wasn't. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was cohesive. I thought the clips they had made a lot of sense in the order that they had them, and they had a lot of great clips in there. But, like, it was nothing that you couldn't find on YouTube. It was, I just wasn't that thrown out by it. I was like, okay, well, like, you know, yet again, another covering of this horribly tragic, sad story. Maybe there's going to be some, Unsolved Mysteries, and the new season comes out on, I think, the 18th of October, which I'm really excited about that. There's something else that's coming out, too, really soon. Y'all, Wentworth put me through it. I just have to tell you, like, that was, like, in my head, like, stuck in my head, the ending of Wentworth, and just, like, the last couple episodes. I just was so worn out by it. Rarely do shows do that to me. Unless it's like a show that I've watched for a long time and it's like the ending of the series. You know what I mean? Like, then it does that to me. But very rarely does a show do it to me where it's just like the ending of a season or whatever. You know, we're just watching several episodes in a row. I can't think of the last time that I did that. That, like, I felt that way. But, like, watching the end of Wentworth, I just was kind of, like, so worn out by it. I was, like, exhausted by the end of watching those 4 episodes. I thought about going back to and watching American Horror Story Cult. I think it's the only one I didn't finish. I think I made it, like, I think I have, like, 3 episodes left. If that's the one, yeah. Is that the one where he, like, runs for, like, office? What's his name? Evan Peters. I didn't love it. I have to say, it wasn't my favorite. But I will tell you, I think that was the first season of American Horror Story where, I don't know what her name is, but she played Mary Cherry on Popular. Did you guys ever watch Popular? I love that show, Popular. And she played Mary Cherry on it. And she's been in a couple seasons of it now. She was in, I think that was the first season. She played the couple. I think she was, like, married to a gay guy. And they were, like, killers or something. And then, what else was she? She was in Apocalypse. She's been in a lot. I really like her. She was, like, in nothing forever, and then all of a sudden she was like, I wonder if Ryan Murphy put her in those because he liked the Mary Cherry character too, because she was such a fantastic character. And then the main cheerleader that was married to, I think she was married to Melissa Etheridge, the actress that played her. I can't think of what her name is. She has, like, 3 names. They have kids together even. If you never watched the show Popular, you should look it up and see it. It's like this, it was only like a couple of seasons, but it was really, really well done. And it was about these, like, it was about this girl and I think it's like her dad. Okay, so the popular girl's dad marries this unpopular girl's mom, and they become stepsisters. Is that how it is? Yeah, I think it is. And then it's kind of like a merging of these worlds and like everything that would happen in high school. The Christmas episode is like fantastic. It's like all built around like the Grinch, if I remember it correctly. Anyway, I watched that show fanatically back in the day. I loved it. It was so good. And I have the whole season on DVD, of course, in my basement. I always think I'm going to go back and watch these shows, and then I never do. It's like, remember the night that I got obsessed with Buying My So-Called Life? And I was like, I have to have it. Yeah, it's still there, and I haven't watched one episode of it. I can hear the theme song in my head right now. Maybe I should watch one of those tonight. Anyway, I will let you know what I think of Monsterland and Lovecraft. Can you believe I'm finally going to start Lovecraft Country or whatever it's called? The YouTuber Zachary Michael commented on one of my videos, and he said, do y'all know Zach? He said, he's so funny. He said, you call it something different literally in every single video. I do though, I know. But anyway, I'm going to start it, and I will let you guys know. Well, by the time I get into it, I'll be like, I'll know the name of it. It's Lovecraft Country. I'm going to watch it, and then I will remember, and I can't wait. I'll probably get like 3 episodes into it and be like, I don't love this. But I already watched a little bit of it with Alex, like the first episode, and it looked really, really good to me. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to start that, and I think it's called Monsterland, and we'll go from there. Or Ratchet. I don't know which one. I guess I should, I don't know, I'm so conflicted. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. If you guys liked this vlog, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you subscribed to my channel already, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please think about subscribing and being part of the Wolf Pack. That's all of us over here. Just trying to get through life one day at a time, being kind to one another, loving towards one another. And yeah, and I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday, beginning to your weekend. Thank God it's Friday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and tell yourself that you love yourself, and every day and every night. And that tell yourself one positive affirmation, like you're valuable, or you are loved, or you are beautiful, or you're funny, or you're nice, or whatever you need to hear, or that you're a good person, or you're talented, or you are a good mathematician, or whatever you need to tell yourself. Good sibling, good wife, good husband. Simply just say also, I love you. It's hard to say sometimes to ourselves. It feels weird. And this is where the outros get really, really long. So let me just nip it in the bud for you, okay? Have an amazing Friday. Do something that will make yourself happy today. Do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it. And take a positive risk in your life. Do something fun. Remember that you can start your day over whenever you want. Tell yourself today is going to be an amazing day, filled with all kinds of great opportunities and positive experiences. And if your day starts going awry, like I said, if it starts going negative, you can start your day over whenever you want. Most importantly, reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Let's make somebody feel wanted, needed, important today. It's such a small thing. It doesn't take much to do, right? And but it can really impact somebody's life. And like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, but like I also always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. Let's put some kindness, compassion, love, and understanding, forgiveness out there in the world. And always lead with love, like the 4 agreements say. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening and watching. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow for the weekend. Bye. Love ya.